Hi, good evening, everyone. This is Pulkit from Learn App. I head content at Learn App, and today we are going to speak with Nitish Bhai from Stockmok on does algo trading really work for retail traders? So good to have you, Nitish Bhai.
Hey, hi Pulkit. How are you, yaar?
Good. How are you?
Bas great, yaar. Thank you for inviting me firstly, yaar, and thank you all of you for joining.
Awesome. Should we wait for a minute or two, or should we start?
देख लो यार.
Why don't you
Let's take a
guys?
vote.
Why don't you guys comment down and let us know? Should we start or should we wait for 2 minutes?
Yeah, we can wait, yaar. I think people are joining in.
Cool.
In the meantime, how are things at Learn App?
Very good. Can you tell me about what's new that's coming in Stockmok?
Of course, yeah. So, I think in second week of March itself, we are planning big things.
Nice.
Right now, I think at Stockmark we only have data that's pertaining to historical one, which means you can do back testing. And there's also a simulator. I don't know if you really know about it, Pulkit. So simulation is something I call it a playground. It means before going to the live market, you go to the any particular date, you pick any date, and you create strategy. You simulate that day and see. So right now what we have been doing till now is everything related to historical data, but we knew always that we should go into the live markets data as well, like the way Opstra Sensible also have. So things are mostly ready. New things, I'll keep it as a surprise, but we are getting into the live markets data. That's what I can say.
Awesome. Sounds good. I have Arpana with me who handles social media at LearnApp. This is all her ideas. Can we give a round of applause to Arpana, please? Because this is her mind to invite Nitish and speak about does algo trading really work for retail traders or not. Hi, Arpana.
Hi, Nitish. Nice to meet you. Really looking forward to this session. And thank you, Pulkit,
Hey,
for inviting me to speak here.
thank you so much, Arpana. Since you have chosen me, I'm sure you must be a sharp mind.
Awesome. Let's get started, Nitish bhai.
Yeah, tell me.
My first question, I'll have a bunch of questions ready for you. The first question that I want to ask is does algo trading really work for retail traders? That's our topic. But this, what is algo trading in simple terms? वो explain कर दो एक बारी.
Yeah, firstly, I want to thank so many people are there whom I know. Ankit Bhai, Ankit Garg, Jeet Shah. Thank you so much for joining in here. Acha, Algo trading, this is a very, first of all, hot topic, and it's very, very interesting as well. For various reasons, and I'll explain whatever things that I know about Algo trading. And I'm not a perfect guy actually for this, but I'm still learning. But to give the background to everyone, um, I am a founder of Stockmark, and my main job is to talk to people. And when I say people, I mean traders. So I talk to traders who do one lot, two lots, who are yet to start into this trading business. And I also talk to people who happen to do a lot of lots. So you can say that I'm lucky enough to know their thought process, mindset, and everything. So algo trading, yeah, everyone talks about algo trading. And let's check some stats and facts. First thing first, okay? There are people who do discretionary trading. They, I think, in past have gone into algo trading, and then they left saying that I don't like it. This doesn't suit me. And there are people who have gone into algo trading and never left that. So I can easily see that algo trading is working for some people, and for some it is not. But let's check one more most important stats. Let's talk about US trading things. So in US, as you Pulkit and Arpana might already know, there's so many people. The percentage is exponentially high compared to what's in India. Because APIs are so mature, people do algo trading. Everything is seamless out there. But algo trading is so mature in US already. It's not. This is not of that standard in India. But since it's working pretty good in US markets, I can say that somewhat, with some confidence that algo trading in general works. But this is a very broad question here. Pulkit, I think it's last 2 years I've been asked this question probably more than hundreds of times, probably thousands of times. And every time my answer gets a little matured, you know. And now if somebody asks me, does algo trading really work? I occasionally answer that getting the right answer begins with asking the right question. So this question in itself is too generic in nature. It's not too accurate, pointed. It's not a pointed question. क्योंकि यहाँ पे ना we are putting the blame or the onus on algo trading and not on the person who is doing their trading, this algo trading in general. तो ये मेरा broader perspective है. This is my broader perspective about this topic of algo trading. But let's talk about it fundamentally. Algo trading है क्या यार? What's algo trading? Simple terms. There is some rule for me that I trade with. Now I want that rule, since that rules is easily mathematically codable. So what I'll do is, since my rules are pretty simple, I let the code do the work, and will let code do the trading part on behalf of me. That is it. Okay. This is what algo trading is. For example, let's talk about a infamous 920 straddle. Now, what's 920 straddle? It's at 920. I'm going to enter both call and put legs, and will happen to have a stop loss of, let's say, 25%. I'll exit at 310. So this is my rules. Now, what I can do is at 920, I can sit, I can trade call and put. I can add the stop loss, and at 310, I can exit myself. So this is kind of a systematic trading I'm doing. Systematic trading means I have a system in place, which means there are my set of rules that are already there. But since my rules is so, it's so clear that why don't I let my code do the trading part for me? कि भैया 920 I coded it, or there are so many algo platforms out there where I can go and tell that कि यार this is my rules, you trade on my behalf. So that's what algo trading is. But the problem here is this: algo trading just replaces your trading part and not the efforts that go for defining the rules. उस पे नहीं जाता. But how is algo trading generally perceived in India? Or not generally, I think most of the people generally do this, is that algo trading takes away each aspect of it. कि भैया कुछ नहीं देखना, algo trading start करो and you're going to make the money out of it. This is not how it works. एल्गो वाला जो पार्ट है ना, वो सिर्फ ट्रेडिंग एस्पेक्ट को डील करता है कि भैया मैं मैनुअली नहीं बैठ रहा पंच करने के लिए ऑर्डर्स, मेरा कोड बैठ रहा है उसको, वो एक रूल्स डिफाइंड है. एंड सिंस वी ऑल नो कोड कैन डू द स्टफ मच बेटर, मच फास्टर देन व्हाट वी कैन डू, सो वी रिलाई ऑन दैट. दैट्स इट. बट कोडिंग यार बहुत, मतलब एल्गो ट्रेडिंग इज समथिंग विच इज लाइक, आपको उससे पहले अपना खाना बनाने से पहले अपने बहुत सारे डिशेस को इकट्ठा करना पड़ेगा, एंड देन यू हैव टू, वो वाला जो प्रोसेस है ना, द प्रोसेस ऑफ एफर्ट्स दैट गो बिहाइंड क्रिएटिंग अ सिस्टम, that's the most important aspect, which is generally missed when people say algo trading. But what they generally perceive is, as far as I know, कि यार एल्गो ट्रेडिंग करेंगे, लाइफ सेट है, गोवा में बैठेंगे, बीचेस घूमेंगे, लाइफ जिएंगे, वर्ल्ड टूर मारेंगे और पीछे से मेरा पैसा बन रहा होगा. एंड पीपल आर नॉट टेकिंग केयर ऑफ द रियल थिंग विच इज लाइक कि यार वो ट्रेडिंग जो सिस्टम्स बनाने हैं मुझे, how is going to I'm going to put efforts on that. Oh, it's a very broad topic, yeah, but please.
Understood, Nitish bhai. Very nicely explained what algo trading is. Nice analogies. And what a precursor to algo trading is also called systematic trading or doing backtest. My next question to you is that many people conceive that algo trading is just restricted to institutional traders. Do you know if uh, retailers also do it? How many retailers do it? Are they successful or not? Can you throw some light?
uh, Yeah, see, nowadays, I know everyone at least is talking about algo trading. And I know so many people, see, मैं तो उन यूजर से वैसे एसोसिएटेड हूँ जो स्टॉक मॉक यूज करते हैं. So people who are using stock mark, I believe they are systematic traders, and the best thing for them is to do algo trading. But I don't think यार, it's just that उनके systems बहुत ज़्यादा mature होते हैं, बहुत ज़्यादा fast होते हैं, like institutions we are talking about, let's say we are talking about prop desk in general. मैंने बहुत सारे पॉडकास्ट प्रॉप डेस्क पे भी करे हैं हर्षित के साथ. सो इनके थोड़े से ज्यादा मेच्योर होते हैं सिस्टम, थोड़े से फास्ट होते हैं, बट डजंट मीन दैट कि हम लोग नहीं कर सकते हैं. मैं कर रहा हूँ, आई थिंक सो 2.5 years से. देयर आर सो मेनी पीपल आई नो, रिटेल ट्रेडर्स हु आर डूइंग 1 lots, देयर आर ट्रेडर्स हु आर डूइंग 10 lots, 100 lots. एवरीबडी इज डूइंग थ्रू एल्गो ट्रेडिंग. यार जरूरत है कि एपीआई सुपर स्मूथ है, और एपीआईज भी आ रखे हैं मार्केट्स में. So I think more or less every broker is providing the API, and you just need to have an API wherein you can punch your orders through that API. That's it. So many people are doing it now. Now coming to your last question, the second part of the question, which is कि successful है या नहीं है यार. As I already say, uh, the reason, this is my general notation that I say, कि the reason with which you start algo trading is what will determine that will you be in this market for long run or not. I'll tell you there are two kinds of people that I've met. One who want to do algo trading because they don't want to be a part of trading in general. They don't want to see the nuances of it. They don't want to rather monitor what's going on. They just want to find something holy grail kind of stuff, put that in algo, and then probably enjoy their life or do something else. But there is other part to it. One, my reason for going into algo trading is this: कि I have put enough efforts to create my system. I know that system can be coded. I have coded that system and I am now monitoring it, improvising it, figuring something else in my trading environment. मैं एल्गो ट्रेडिंग छोड़ने के लिए नहीं कर रहा. मैं ट्रेडिंग में मैच्योर होने के लिए एक लेवरेज ले रहा हूं. एंड दिस इज व्हाट आई फील. एल्गो ट्रेडिंग इज अ लेवरेज दैट गिव्स मी टाइम to think about something else in the trading world so that I can get matured in it. Otherwise, you will see people who have started doing algo trading. There are people I know who have made good money in it, but I know when their systems will fail, na, they'll struggle a lot. So the efforts जो रहता है आपका to be in this market, to monitor things, to improvise stuff, आपको वो नहीं छोड़ना. Algo trading is just a leverage for you.
Interesting, Nitish bhai. Can we also say that algo trading is the next step towards systematic trading?
Systematic trading for me is like you have a system in place. आपके rules defined है. जैसे RSI का rule है. अगर मैं उसको code करना चाहता हूँ तो वो algo की तरफ चला जाएगा. It's like my rules are already defined. I am a systematic guy in nature. If I'm doing that manually, तब भी मेरा सिस्टमैटिक ट्रेडिंग है यार. एल्गो ट्रेडिंग नहीं बोलेंगे उसको, मैनुअली भी कर रहा हूँ, बट मेरे रूल्स डिफाइन है. दैट्स अ सिस्टमैटिक ट्रेडिंग. बट अगर मैंने उसी रूल्स को कोड को दे दिया तो दैट बिकम्स एल्गो ट्रेडिंग. किया ठीक है, मैं नहीं कर रहा, माय ऑर्डर्स आर बीइंग पंच्ड. अच्छा बंदे ना, देयर आर सम पीपल आई फील कि दे थिंक एल्गो ट्रेडिंग इज अ सॉल्यूशन for their loss making strategies to become profitable. That's not the way. See, algo trading है क्या? I am coding. Let's say I'm coding. I will come to that कि मुझे कोड करने की जरूरत है या नहीं है. Let's say I'm
Correct.
coding my rules and the system is just punching the order for me as per my rules, the rules I have written. But
Right.
वो rules बनाने के जो efforts हैं, that's not efforts तो वहीं जाते हैं ना सारे. आप देखो यार, जैसे अंकित भाई है, he is also in this conversation. Ankit, oh, Vishal Mehta is also there now. So these people are Kurabak Kiru bhai. So yes, so many people are there who have spent like years in this market, years.
Correct.
अब I always say to people कि don't get overwhelmed कि यार वो 20 साल से मार्केट में, मैं 1 साल में कुछ नहीं कर पाऊंगा. Just treat कि Algo is a leverage for you that is giving you time to do more research, to do more things in this. तो आप उनके जितना नहीं बन सकते, बट देयर आर हाई चांसेस कि यार आप उनके पाथ को तो फॉलो कर सकते हो ना. अब मैं एक दिन में तो इतना मेच्योर नहीं बचाऊंगा, बट पीपल थिंक इज कि यार आज विशाल मेहता, फॉर एग्जांपल, विशाल मेहता को लॉस हुआ एंड माय एल्गो इज गिवन अ प्रॉफिट, सो आई एम अ मच स्मार्टर गाय देन हिम. नो, ऑब्वियसली यू कैन नॉट बी, यू कैन नेवर बी. उनका 20 इयर्स का एक्सपीरियंस आप मैच ही नहीं कर सकते. इट्स इम्पॉसिबल, यू नो. सो वो जो एफर्ट्स वाला पार्ट है ना, वो गिर के खड़े होने वाला पार्ट है ना, वो गिर के ही समझ में आएगा यार. एंड देन यू विल रियलाइज कि रूल्स पे मुझे ज्यादा एफर्ट्स डालने हैं, एंड सेंसिबल रूल्स. मैं अंकित से कई बार बात कर चुका हूँ इस बारे में. अंकित भाई का भी यही मानना है कि अंकित गर्ग, कि यार रूल्स भी सेंसिबल होने चाहिए. मतलब ब्लाइंड रूल्स नहीं होने चाहिए. यू कांट से लेट्स से यू गो टू स्टॉक मार्केट एंड यू से कि मैं 920 का स्टॉप स्ट्रैडल कर रहा हूँ एंड आई एम पुटिंग 1% स्टॉप लॉस. अब बैक टेस्ट में जो अच्छा ही दिखाएगा वो, बट दिस इज नॉट अ सेंसिबल रूल ना. रूल भी तो प्रैक्टिकल होने चाहिए. तो अल्टीमेटली सी आई से टू एवरीवन, इफ यू वांट टू प्ले द गेम इन द लॉन्ग रन, learning never stops. People think pick up algo trading, your learning is over, only earning. No, that's not how it goes.
Understood, understood. Now that the basics are cleared, कि algo trading क्या होता है, how is it different from systematic trading? How can one start as an algo trader?
Uh, this is again a very broad question. I don't know will I be able to answer crisply in crisp part of this or not, but let's try. Uh, First thing first, I always say if you know coding, the best is to do it yourself. Make your own algos, okay, and start very very small. देखो होता क्या है कि when you are doing an algo trading, वेरिएबल इसमें इसमें पीसेस मूविंग पीसेस बोलते हैं इसको. सो देर आर सो मेनी मूविंग पीसेस इन दिस पजल कि people miss it out until they make a loss because of that reason. Let's say, okay, NSE is throwing a data to brokers, brokers is giving the data to Algo, and Algo is then executing it. Okay, there are three parts to it. If any one of them fails, or you have not dealt with the situation wherein one of the pieces get distorted and your code is not ready for it, तो आपको प्रॉब्लम हो जाएगी बाद में. सो दिस इज काइंड ऑफ एन एवर इवॉल्विंग प्रोसेस कोडिंग. तो मैं बोलता हूँ कि स्टार्ट if you know coding, or if it happens that your friend is into algo trading, do go that trade with him or her, and start building your algos. I'm telling you, this is kind of a synergic effect, like 1 plus 1 11 होगा यहाँ पे. One day will come where you feel कि यार आपका जो कोड है बहुत मेच्योर हो गया, तो आप खुद से कर सकते हो. अदरवाइज देयर आर प्लेटफॉर्म्स लाइक क्वांटिप्लाई. We have referred so many people to them and we have no vested interest with him, but उनके platforms हैं जैसे वो बने हुए हैं. People can go create their strategies there and then let it run, but they should understand कि यार those things can also fail. कोड ही तो है ultimately ये. तो ये जो aspects होते हैं ना यहाँ पे people get their what can we say, their trust gets broken sometimes कि यार I never expected this. Like one day NSE gone down. There are many times it happens, brokers are going down. अब आप Elgo platform use कर रहे हो, another moving piece, the platforms goes down for one reason or another. So there are so many moving pieces here. Systems is, I believe the ecosystem is yet to get fully matured, but we are on the way to becoming mature. Like Zerodha APIs are getting smoother day by day. I don't know whether it is. I've stopped using it for some reason. Um, but this is the way it is, yeah. But either you can code yourself. There are platforms like Quantify. You can go create strategies there and let it run. But see, आपको monitor करना पड़ेगा. By you cannot let it run by itself. आपको monitor करना पड़ेगा what's going wrong and what can go wrong. Is it fully foolproof kind of thing? आपके logics बिल्कुल super smooth है या नहीं है? तो Algos is like a last step, I think so. Uh, आपको डेट करना पड़ेगा अपने रूल्स के साथ. एल्गो इज लाइक अ मैरिज. आपको शादी वाला स्टेप तो लास्ट है. आपको उससे पहले उसके सगाई करनी पड़ेगी, डेट करना पड़ेगा उसको. वो रूल्स और एफर्ट्स वाला जो पार्ट है ना, वो आपको पहले फुली प्रिपेयर करना पड़ेगा. उसके बाद यू विल फील कि यार हाँ ठीक है, मूविंग पजल्स को भी हम मैनेज कर लेंगे कैसे भी.
Nitish bhai, your analogies are very funny and to the point. बंदा समझ जाता है कि
मैरिड है ये
किस
बंदा.
बात कर आप. I think I've received some replies in the thread asking people कि people are asking if algo trading requires coding, and I'm coming from a non-coding background. How can I learn algo trading?
सी मैंने ना इन वन ऑफ माय पॉडकास्ट, and this is what I generally also say कि coding is going to be a new new common language just like English is nowadays in future. ठीक है, तो आप coding अपने लिए नहीं, अपनी next generation के लिए, तो I always say learn तो कर ही लो. ये this is not going to be luxury for you. It might be luxury today कि people feel कि यार इसको coding आती है, but in future it's going to be norm, new norm होने वाला है. तो coding सीख लो, you will get benefit out of it, or your next generation is definitely going to get benefit out of it. ये leverage बहुत अच्छा है coding का. This is what I think. I only knew coding, a little bit of trading, and I'm a good learner. I think I happened to get in touch with Vishal bhai, Ankit bhai, Rakesh bhai, कि they shower their knowledge with to me, और इसलिए मेरा stock mark बन पाया. तो you can learn coding. अगर नहीं कर सकते, there are platforms out there as I told Quantify. You can go there, create strategies. किसी और ने बना रखा है, आप उसको यूज भी कर सकते हो, कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है.
Understood. um Coming on to the final questions now, before I let audience come and ask you the questions. What are the basic mistakes that people make while algo trading?
फर्स्ट थिंग फर्स्ट कि एल्गो स्टार्ट करती है, आप बीचेस पे नहीं जा रहे. नहीं जा रहे बीचेस पे आप, बिल्कुल भी ऐसा नहीं होने वाला कुछ भी। मेरे साथ तो नहीं हुआ एटलीस्ट। सेकंड थिंग इज, अगर आप एल्गो को लेवरेज समझोगे ना, तो प्रॉब्ली यू विल प्ले द गेम फॉर लॉन्ग रन। अब नाउ लेवरेज इज अ डबल एज सॉर्ड, दैट्स व्हाट आई फील। अगर आपका जो बेस है, जिसको बोलते हैं ना बेस, योर आपका जो स्ट्रक्चर खड़ा हो रहा है, द स्ट्रक्चर।
I think you're muted, Nitish bhai. Can you unmute yourself?
What did you hear last? Because I don't know how did it.
The structure you were
Okay,
talking.
so I'm saying that the base of that structure should be very solid, because leverage is a double-edged sword. If you are in the wrong direction, then you will reach the wrong place faster. If you are in the right direction, you will reach the right place faster. So, for example, you have created a bad strategy and you are algo trading it. Now, it's going to give you your losses. Algo's responsibility is not to give you profits. That's the responsibility of your rules. Algo's role is just to give you leverage to save your time and to punch trades faster. It is as simple as that. So, एल्गोज की बेसिक मिस्टेक में पहला तो ये है कि यार इट्स नॉट अ प्रॉफिट मेकिंग मशीन। अगर होता तो प्रॉबेबली हम सब भी बीचेस में जाते। Just spend time in creating good strategies that makes logical sense to you. Point number two, if you like, this is a very common one which I also happen to understand it quite late in my this trading career, कि sometimes it happens that you will feel like यार अपन नीचे भगवान है, because your strategies are working way good for like couple of months, let's say, and you are seeing on Twitter कि everyone is making losses, so you tend to become boss कि fuck, मैं बताता हूँ यार तुझे, यार मैं बताता हूँ, मैंने स्टॉक मार्केट में 700 का प्लान लिया सिर्फ, एंड क्या स्ट्रैटेजी मिली। एंड once they start, because they happen to feel, मतलब they always feel that कि I figured out a holy grail, and there is no scope or need for improvement. This is the biggest mistake, the biggest mistake, कि I have found the holy grail, because holy grail is never in the strategy. Holy grail is in the process of making the strategy, and in the process you have to put in efforts, and it is continuous efforts. यार आप खुद सोचो, आई थिंक द रिचेस्ट रे डैलियो का भी आई थिंक CAGR आई थिंक कितना है, 20% के अराउंड ही होगा, उससे कम ही होगा आई थिंक सो। उन्होंने सबसे ज्यादा फंड्स में, हेज फंड्स में पैसा कमाया है। सो उनको भी होली ग्रेल नहीं मिला होगा ना, तो हम कैसे लाइक फिगर आउट कर सकते हैं कि हमें होली ग्रेल मिल गया? तो यू जस्ट, whenever, by the way, this is my logic, this might be wrong for many people, when I say, whenever I am on the winning streaks now, whenever I say कोई बात नहीं यार, losing streak भी start होने वाला है, कोई टेंशन नहीं है, ज्यादा उड़ना नहीं है। बट वेन द लूजिंग स्ट्रीक्स आर कमिंग ऑन, आई पॉन्डर कि क्या गलत तो नहीं हो रहा, कुछ वैसा नहीं हो रहा है, बट आई नो कि हाँ यार, दिस टू शैल पास। तो it I also believe कि यार there is a shell life of every strategy, and sometimes your strategy will give huge profits, and sometimes it's going to be mediocre profits, and sometimes it's going to give you losses. My job is to find good strategies with good logics, and the best way is to talk to people who are smart enough. I'm fortunate enough to be networking with good people. And shall I touch one more topic here, yeah, Pulkit?
Sure.
So
Go.
yeah, देखो यार, I think networking in the trading, person who is starting out, they generally face a lot of problem, क्योंकि they go to Twitter, and Twitter में कहीं जगह पे noise बहुत है. It's like there is a guy who is having lot and lot of followers, and is I don't have a better word for it, but they're shooting garbage out there, and they feel like, yeah, if this person is speaking something like this, probably it's happened to be true, so they pick that garbage. And you know there is a set of index नहीं है कि step 1, step 2, step 3. Unfortunately, step 4 को बहुत जल्दी दिखाया जाता है कि I'm making 4% a month, I'm making 6% a month. So because of that, first 3 steps are generally skipped. And I always say, and this is what my philosophy in stock market is as well, कि whenever we are running a back test, मैं dark color में red color में दिखाता हूँ कि यार तुम्हारा max loss क्या था, MDD क्या था. Whenever somebody, even somebody is in this market for let's say 6 months, I talk to them sometimes and they don't know the meaning of MDD. MDD क्या होता है भाई? I don't know. Drawdown मुझे नहीं पता भाई क्या होता है. So if you don't know the harsh reality कि यार आपकी strategy जब डूबेगी, तो how it's going to affect you in general, and how it's going to, are you ready for it, or are you ready for the worst part of it or not? तो वो हैप्पी वाला सिनेरियो बहुत ज्यादा शेयर होता है. तुम आई जनरली से पीपल कि यार ट्विटर पे जाओ, बट आपका जॉब है ये. नाउ इट्स योर सोल रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी. गो टू ट्विटर, सब कुछ पढ़ो, बट कट आउट द नॉइज, और जो थोड़ा सा अच्छा पार्ट है ना उसको ले लो. आपको टाइम लगेगा. ट्विटर में आप जाके एक हफ्ते में कुछ नहीं लेने वाले. वो एक बड़ा टाइम टेकिंग प्रोसेस होता है, बट नाउ इट्स योर जॉब, क्योंकि अच्छा अच्छा माल भी वहां पड़ा हुआ है. इट्स जस्ट दैट आपको नॉइज रिमूव करना पड़ेगा. आपको ऐसी सिंपल फिलोसफी है मेरी लाइफ की, एजुकेशन वर्सेस एंटरटेनमेंट. अगर आप ट्विटर में एंटरटेनमेंट के लिए, अगर आपको एंटरटेनमेंट मिल जाएगा, आप एजुकेशन के लिए आ रहे हो ना, तो प्लीज एंटरटेनमेंट साइड से दूर रहना. टू पीपल आर फाइटिंग विद ईच अदर, यू आर रीट्वीटिंग दैट, यू आर लाइकिंग दैट, यू आर एंजॉयिंग दैट पार्ट. आई थिंक दैट्स अ वेस्ट ऑफ योर टाइम. Focus on the education part of it. Follow the people, not follow in general, Twitter follow wala, be a student. Follow people, follow their advice, see if it's working out for you or not. Don't blame ki it's that person's, उसने दिया था इसलिए. ना ना ना. Absorb what's right for you, see what's working for you. It's a time taking process यार. लॉन्ग टर्म वर्सेस शॉर्ट टर्म की गेम नहीं खेलनी कि भैया आज नहीं चला कल चेंज कर दिया, कल नहीं चला उसका सेमिनार कर लिया, इस पे चले गए. डजंट मेक सेंस.
Understood, Nitish bhai. I think you mentioned about first drawdown. Second, you also mentioned that algo trading is not one way of just trading one system. Your algo will break, the system might have a shelf life, and the shelf life might get over. On that note, Webber is asking, if the system fails, what should we do next? Should we change the system when it hits a max drawdown, or should we change the rules of the system? What
So nice, yeah. Is पे I think so. Kiru and Vishal has made a good video कि when you should stop doing on business, and Monte Carlo way भी I think so. Ankit bhai का, you can probably check that out. That's the best way to answer that. But I say कि यार never have one system in place. At least have three systems in place that is running parallelly. There is very less chances, probably ये maths की probability है, इसमें कोई मेरा logic नहीं है. There are less chances that all three of them will go into the drawdown phase. अच्छा, नाउ कमिंग टू योर पार्ट कि एमडीडी पे पहुंच गया. यार एमडीडी किसका? हिस्टोरिकल एमडीडी, राइट? सो दैट विल क्रिएट अ न्यू एमडीडी फॉर श्योर. इफ नॉट नाउ, प्रॉब्ली इन फ्यूचर. आई जनरली से टू ट्रेडर्स कि यार जिनकी स्ट्रैटेजीज में थोड़ा जल्दी एमडीडी आ जाता है, तो आई से यार यू आर लकी इनफ. नहीं तो व्हाट पीपल जनरली डू इज, जब उनकी प्रॉफिट स्ट्रीक चल रही होती है ना, दे हैपन टू इंक्रीज द लॉट साइजेस अ लॉट. लेट्स से मैं 10 से कर रहा हूँ, 20 कर लिया, मैं 100 से कर रहा हूँ, 150 कर लिया. And then their strategies drawdown starts, and then they start to probably trusting their system, stop trusting their systems. So it's best कि यार आप अपनी strategy पे रखो. अगर logic it's clear, you see in this market यार logic चल कैसे रहा है कि if it's a mean reverting आपकी by the way, my philosophy is, मुझे मेरी strategy का पता होता है. Let's say I'm running 5 strategies in a day. I know one of my strategies is a mean reverting strategy, one of them is a directional strategy, another is a another is probably for the sideways market. I'll give you an example if you want. One is, let's say I'm keeping a wider stop loss, so I know I'm putting this strategy for the sideways markets. One, I'm keeping a tight stop loss. I know it's a directional strategy because one leg, if gets cut out, another leg will make up for it. Another one, mean reverting strategy, is I'm keeping a re-entry in it. Re-entry means if one leg stop loss gets triggered and if the market reverses, then my other leg will enter again, which was earlier cut. So I happen to always simplify what my strategy is. मैं बना सकता हूँ complicated strategy, but I want to name it. This is a directional strategy, this is a non-directional strategy, this is a mean reverting strategy. This will work in this situation, this will work in that situation. So if you create a framework around, कि आपका market कैसा चल रहा है, about the market direction, and you happen to have like some strategies, like 3-4 strategies in picture, even if it's a 1-1 lot, don't think yaar I'm running only 4 lots, how will I have it? Have 1-1 lot. Just consider this is an investment. If you get a chance to increase your lot sizes, if you get a chance to increase your capital in future, then you are already prepared यार. आपने प्ले ग्राउंड पे प्ले कर लिया है, यू नो कि दीज आर द एक एक लॉट से खेल लिया. डोंट कंसिडर कि ब्रोकरेज बहुत जा रहा है. यू आर नॉट हियर टू in the initial stages, you're not here to win this market, override this market. You are here to learn and protect your capital. So जितना आप improvise करोगे, scaling में it gets very easy. The biggest one of the big things mistakes people do is वो learning part अपना ना बड़े lots में शुरू करते हैं. It's like मैंने 10 lots से खेल लिया, मेरी strategy अच्छी चल रही है, I'm now reached to 100 lots, but unfortunately I've not seen the phase of bad phases, drawdown phases, other things. तो वहाँ वो learning शुरू करते हैं. If you start your learning part in the initial stages, the scaling becomes really, really, really easy. Scaling problems पे बाद में आएंगे.
Understood, Nitish bhai. My last question before I take up audience questions. The title of the space is, does algo trading really work for retail traders? Now I'll extend this question a bit more. First, the trader is incurring STD, then he's incurring brokerage charges, then he's incurring probably our platform charges, probably learn का सब्सक्रिप्शन होगा या फिर स्टॉक मॉक का सब्सक्रिप्शन होगा, देन सेबी का चार्ज भी लगेगा, उसके ऊपर बेचारे को इनकम टैक्स भी देना पड़ेगा, एंड उसके ऊपर फिर एल्गो ट्रेडिंग फीस जो कि एपीआईज रन करने के लिए चाहिए होगी बेचारे को, वो भी करनी पड़ेगी, हिस्टोरिकल डेटा भी लेना पड़ेगा, एपीआई की कॉस्ट रफली कुछ ब्रोकर्स के लिए 2000 टू 4000 रेंज करनी पड़ेगी. बेचारा प्रॉफिट कैसे कमाएगा विद नीतीश भाई? कैन यू इलैबोरेट ऑन दैट?
Okay. अच्छा, मुझे बताओ कि I always say whenever I'm asked this question कि यार always consider this as a skill set for you to earn the money from one of the ways, by sitting in front of system, working for yourself. This is a pure skills. See, when I entered into this market, I happened to enter this market for wrong reasons. मेरे साथ एक छोटा सा scam हो गया था, but when I entered in this market, I realized कि यार financial freedom का एक ये राइट पाथ है. नो डाउट कि यार बहुत सारे कॉस्ट लग रहे हैं, बट आई कंसिडर दिस एज एन एक्सपेंसेस और इन्वेस्टमेंट to go into the path of financial freedom. But financial freedom never comes without putting in efforts, as I always say, without putting in time. ठीक है? तो नाउ कम टू द आस्पेक्ट कि यार इफ यू आर, आपका ब्रोकरेज जाता है, एसटीडी जाता है, सबका जाता है यार, बट अदर वे क्या है मेरे पास पैसों को. लेट्स से आई वांट टू increase my capital. What's the best thing I can do? क्या क्या करते हैं लोग, मुझे बताओ. They buy the property, they buy the gold, they, what do they do? FD में डाल देते हैं. ठीक है? But इस market में, even after paying taxes, even after doing so many things, I've seen people making 20% with a good capital, handsome capital, let's say, in this market. So इस market में potential तो है आपको देने का. This is that you have to figure out some ways कि how can you protect brokerages, for example. And यार I think everything, this आप जैसे learn आपका सब्सक्रिप्शन लोगे, स्टॉक मॉक, everything that's an investment until आपका base solid नहीं हो जाता. And once your base is increased, आपका capital भी धीरे धीरे increase होगा. ये एक skill set है eventually यार. If you happen to master it now, or if you happen to delve deep into it, you're going to make you can make a good fortune out of it as well.
Understood, Nitish bhai. I think that was brilliant answers that you gave to all the questions. I'll pick up 2 or 3 questions that we have received in the chat so that the audience is also satisfied. Ritesh is asking, for someone who knows how to code, how can they learn algo trading? What platforms can be used?
Good question यार. अभी तो one thing is, okay, good question यार. पहले तो सबसे पहले I always say कि आप अपने आप हाथ पैर मारो. Just go to YouTube. अभी already API documentation इतनी solid है. Let's say pick any broker, Zerodha का पकड़ लो. अब Zerodha के documentation इतना solid है. Just start with it. Pick that documentation, start with it. अब उसके edge cases वहाँ पे mention नहीं होते, तो go to YouTube, और I think Udemy में probably I'm forgetting the name. Udemy में there are courses who teaches you how to create your algos with the edge cases. क्योंकि what people miss out generally is कि best case तो उन्होंने quote कर दिया, but they are missing out on edge cases. Let's say the API stopped working. Let's say you stopped receiving ticks. कि what is the LTV now? And let's say your SL got triggered, but you didn't get an error out of it, or something out of it, something. So it's not a one, as I already told you, कि ये ongoing process है. You create from the documentation, from the free sources out there. There is one Udemy course, you can pick that, and you build a basic architecture. and then grow above it. Growing, ever evolving, सिर्फ use cases के aspect होते हैं. अब use cases ना किसी को last year I think so my positions was in upstocks when the NSE went down. अब NSE went down करें भाई, nobody can do anything about it ना. वो use case लोगों ने तब सोचा होगा, मैनेज कैसे भी कर लो, मैनेज कुछ हो ही नहीं सकता. Your orders will not go into the market now. So you have to just think कि आपके जो कोड है वो कितने यूज केसेस को मैनेज कर सकता है. It's very simple. And how fast it is. That's it. Ever evolving process है. So you can't say कि now it's done. Nobody can say it's done.
Understood, Nitish bhai. Guys, if you want to, listeners, if you want to ask any question, Nitish bhai, please comment down and I'll take up the question. In the meantime, Nitish bhai, I'm going to ask you a very hot topic, right? The hot
Hot
topic is
मतलब
markets are going, SEBI is going to extend the market timings. NSE is also interested. Brokers are also interested. What is going to happen with the life of traders?
life of a traders. See, trading ना मतलब मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि trading is kind of a नशा चस्का. ठीक है, once you happen to already know ifs and buts of market, तो you are prepared for anything and everything. That's what I can say. ठीक है, if it's not stretching to the limit कि अब 11 बजे तक हो रहा है, तो अगर 11 बजे तक हो रहा है तो मेरा बहुत डिफिकल्ट है. मेरा तो एल्गो ही करने वाला है फिर काम जो करेगा. So now it's not uh, now it's a mandatory for me. Let's say हम assume करते हैं two scenarios. Its market is extending to 5, market is extending to 11, which is a rare case. I don't know if it happened. So market अगर 11 बजे तक कर रहा है तो I don't know how long will I be able to sit in this market because it's practically not feasible to watch the markets. My algos are now going to take major decisions on my behalf. That's where algos main role will come in. But again, that's not for me for it to make profits for me. It's only ki I now don't have time to observe the markets in such things. But I think practically SEBI is not going to increase it beyond 5. That's what I think. I don't know yet. But 5 तक I think so यार, so many things have happened in the past. पहले I think so 9:55 या 10 o'clock तक था, फिर वो 9:15 पे आया, लोगों ने तब भी बोला, and now people are going to adjust with it यार. ठीक है, nothing bad is going to happen.
Understood. Many people are interested in outsourcing the coding part of algo trading to a company, right? What are your thoughts on that?
I see it as a great thought for two reasons. One is कि because that guy has already done the job for you. कि जो भी use cases that you're going to, you're yet to code, they have already done that part. So you can basically try that, right? Second thing is, if things go wrong, you will happen to see कि how that guy or how that platform has handled it. And now that becomes a benchmark for you. If you want to code, you want to create as good as what they have handled. So probably that's kind of a good benchmark for you. There are already, see, I know there are so many traders out there who was not from coding background. So it's mandatory for them to try some platforms. And once they go to that platform, I have seen 60-70% are satisfied. कि ठीक है यार, I'm satisfied with it. I'm not going to make my own platform. But I always say यार, if it's best to create your own thing. So 30% ऐसे भी होते हैं, they create their own strategies, they code their own strategies.
Understood, Nitish bhai. I think Simranjeet is requesting to speak. I'll just accept his request. Just a second. All right, Simranjeet, welcome to the spaces. You can now speak. You can ask your question to Nitish now.
Simranjeet bhai, I think so mic is off.
Can you retry?
Yeah. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Loud and clear.
Yeah. So my question is, if I want to write an algo, how can you help me with it? Is there a proper? I am absolutely new to this algo world, so I'm a intraday trader and a positional trader. So how do I get a proper algo written and whatever I have in my mind or whatever are there some algo formats available with you which you work upon or the templates? I mean, how do we go about it?
Okay. There are various aspects to it. तो but उससे पहले मुझे बता दो सिमरनजीत जी कि do you know coding?
No, I don't know coding at all. I am a
हाँ,
commerce background guy.
अरे नो इश्यूज एट ऑल. सी, सबसे पहले एल्गो के लिए हमें कोडिंग आनी चाहिए, बेसिक कोडिंग तो एटलीस्ट आनी चाहिए ना. तो आई थिंक बेस्ट इज इफ यू वांट टू रियली लर्न कोडिंग, देन स्टार्ट लर्निंग पाइथन फॉर एग्जांपल.
Okay,
मैं नोट जेएस करता हूँ, बट यू लर्न स्टार्ट लर्निंग पाइथन. बट आई थिंक सो, आई टेल यू, आई बी वेरी ऑनेस्ट, if you happen to have a very good reason कि I want to learn coding, why do I want to learn coding? Because it's going to provide me leverage in the long run. तभी आप उसको स्टिक कर पाओगे. देयर आर मेनी पीपल आई सी जिस 5 दिन के लिए कोडिंग उठाते हैं, देन दे लीव इट बिकॉज दैट्स नॉट देयर पैशन, दैट्स नॉट व्हाट दे रियली वांट टू डू इन द लॉन्ग रन. वो सिर्फ शॉर्टकट के लिए ढूंढते हैं, तो इट्स नॉट गोइंग टू वर्क आउट फॉर यू.
okay.
पॉइंट नंबर 2, कि अगर आपका, मैं हमेशा बोलता हूँ कि यार सिनर्जिक इफेक्ट इज द बेस्ट इफेक्ट. There's a friend of mine called Hardik. He's a brilliant trader. I've already done the podcast with him. वो हमेशा, he always asks me कि यार I want to code. I say यार you have already tried coding in the past 6 months. You have tried it 7 times. You're not sticking to it. So best is to find somebody who is great in coding and who wants to learn trading. You teach him trading, he'll do the coding aspect for you.
Okay.
You both create a team, and that's the best case effect. And this is what he has done. Super
And
successful.
how about templates? How about templates? Are there some templates available for coding? For
There is
trading
no ready-made
algo?
templates.
Okay, okay,
No. There is no ready-made template, but there are platforms out there, as I told, not again promoting anyone. There are platforms like Quantify out there, where you can just drag, drop, or create strategies there, and that will run it for you.
What is the name of the
The
platform?
platform name that I am not promoting, just telling, is Quantiply.
It's a quantify.
QUANTI.
Okay,
Quantiply. That's where. That's, you see,
and
it's
it
kind of a
is.
no-code strategy algo platforms.
And tell me one thing. I mean, what is the scenario in the market right now? How many people
Yes.
do the algo trading as on uh, the percent wise? I'm asking you.
I don't really have a clear answer for it, but guys, listeners, there is a, तो वहाँ पे एक हार्ट आइकन बना हुआ है, तो उसमें 100 बता देना if you think I am right. I am making a guess. Less than 10%.
Okay, and what about in USA and
At
other
least
countries?
60%, but Ankit is going to be the best. Ankit, 60, 70, say thumbs up. 60, 70%. अरे बहुत करते हैं. US में there is a lot of
Really?
more than, yeah. वहाँ आपकी market. By the way, we are going to enter into the US markets as well probably soon. I don't know when. Yeah.
Okay. So
Let's
right now, if you want to do is just learn coding and do it yourself, kind of thing.
No. I'm saying that, bro. See, everyone's time is important, and I say कि you should know the basics of coding. But if you want to
Okay.
create the entire structure out of it, find somebody who is passionate about creating it. If your USP is creating good strategies, his USP of creating good
Good
coding with
coding.
all the edge cases, make a team out of it. हमारे इंडिया में बड़ी प्रॉब्लम है, कोई synergic effect करने को तैयार नहीं है. मतलब it's like कि I want to eat everything myself. The piece of cake is something I'm going to eat it all myself. No, see, हर बंदा fight करने के लिए बैठा है यार.
So,
मैंने कुछ
so
बना दिया
Nitish,
वो.
you've designed your algos. So how
Yes.
many time do you sit on the screen? I mean, during these trading hours, in 6.5 hours, how much time do you dedicate on the screen
Uh,
yourself?
See, my case is special because my entire time goes into the stock market development and so many other things to run the company. So I don't have time. So I've given this to my partner Abhishek, whom I'll tell you, he who sits for probably 3 minutes or 4 minutes in a day, because he
Oh,
also is very busy. And since my algos, which I built for myself, is I think it's running for 2.5 years, so I've probably handled so many use cases already in there. I've set up Telegram. I've also have one. If you guys, by the way, are interested in seeing my basics of coding, I'll drop in comment, and or you can go to my Stockmark channel, YouTube channel, and you scroll down, you will see there is a webinar wherein I've created how to find good strategy and create it. There I have, I think, explained the coding part of it as well. You can see I've tied that with Telegram. Telegram means जैसे मेरा कोई कोड पंच होता है in Telegram, I get a notification. If there is an error, I immediately get a notification. So that's kind of an alert system for me, wherein if I get an alert on Telegram, I say no, I have to sit in the systems right now. So if you guys are interested, you can go to the Stockmark channel, scroll down to the bottom. You will see a webinar how to create and code good strategies.
Cool. Awesome, Nitish bhai. I think this was supposed to be 30 minutes, 6 to 6:30.
अरे
We
ठीक है,
did,
टाइम लगता है.
Uh, Already 6:45. Thank you for giving us so much time, and it was a pleasure speaking to you. If you want to do this again, maybe people can comment down, and we'll come again on Twitter Spaces. And yeah, thank you so much for doing this. Arpana, do you want to take over?
Yeah, really had a great session. Enjoyed listening to you. Thank you so much.
I think Arpana's voice was
Thank
not
you.
clear. I'll just repeat. He was just thanking you for being here. Yeah.
Thank you so much, yeah. And I don't know if I could add the value. It's just that I happen to talk to so many traders, and this is what I've learned. Whatever I've shared, if it added value, then thank you so much for listening this far. One request I would want to make. Uh, I want to do a small promotion of Stockmark podcasting. We have recently started the podcasting in Stockmark YouTube channel. Entire intention is this: we want to invite traders who want to share their journey and learnings with us. शॉर्टकट छोड़ के अगर हम लर्निंग्स और जर्नी पे फोकस करेंगे ना तो प्रॉब्ली दिस इज व्हाट आई थिंक लर्न ऐप इज आल्सो डूइंग probably our chances of sticking in this market for longer run will increase. So I would request all of you कि देखो हमारा पॉडकास्ट देखो किसी और का देखो बट get inspired by the journey, learnings, the struggle they have gone through. That's it.
Nice. Thank you so much, guys, for joining. Thank you so much, Nitish Bhai, for coming here. We'll end this session. You can post your queries in the thread, and Nitish Bhai and probably me can resolve it, or Ratna can look over it. And we'll end the spaces now. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye bye.